Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors, we don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
This podcast is taking off. Like, we have people in the chat. I have people texting me. When are you going live? Were you doing live today? Yeah, Jessica, my partner in crime from She Podcast, Brilliant Observations, is in here. Jessica Kupferman.
You know what's funny? I have her link to She Podcast and Brilliant Observations pretty much in our template for show notes because we talk about her so often, so we always refer to her. So it's just in the template at this point.
Yeah, so happy to have everybody here. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How was your week?
My week was really good.
That is fantastic.
I know. I'm so happy. Remember last week I talked about doing a challenge where every time in the Facebook group, if somebody posted, I'd get on the rowing machine and just turn on a song and go for that entire song. Well, I did that. And the first day I was like, this might be a mistake.
I thought it was a mistake.
But the second day, so it happened. People were posting, and then I was upstairs, and I was like, oh, good, I don't have to go on. And then sort of the guilt got to me of just like, no, I really wanted to do this. I wanted to have this challenge myself to do this. And so what I did was I just kind of added up how many people were posting, and I had that number in my head of just, okay, 3 people posted. I'm going to go downstairs, going to turn on 3 songs and just go. And I did it. Every time I went downstairs, not even if I was downstairs, I would do it. But when I was upstairs, I was counting those posts. And the thing is, I was so happy whenever anybody posted. You know, they opened up, they talked about their struggles, and not happy that they had struggles, but happy that it was an open place and seeing that support from people commenting. I love that. I really love our Hate to Wait discussion group. If you guys aren't a part of it, come join us. It's very friendly, so supportive. Wonderful.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for your weigh-in.
Yeah, me too, actually. I'm really excited because I've been good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've been good. I've had my window. And the other thing was I went to the store the other day and I went to Trader Joe's. I normally don't go to Trader Joe's because it's on the other side of town, but I went to Trader Joe's and I'm like, I just need new stuff. And I ended up buying vegetables and then coming home. And the first thing I did was chop them up because that's my problem. I'll buy a zucchini. I love zucchini. I love yellow squash. I put it in the fridge and then they just go bad.
Yes.
So I got home and I chopped it up and put it in a bag right away. And I also got another container of pre-chopped vegetables because I think that's my least favorite part. That's why Blue Apron never worked for me because
you got to chop all the stuff.
Yeah. The whole 30 minutes is basically chopping up. That's it.
Right.
They're like, 30 minutes or less. 29 of those minutes will be chopping vegetables. I'm like, I hate this. This does not make me feel better. This does not relieve my anger during the day.
Well, here's the other thing is that you and I do intermittent fasting. When that window opens up, it's let's go. I mean, it's not like, okay, now I want to chop my vegetables. I want to make a salad. I want to, I'm hungry now. Feed me.
Yeah.
All right. So that's my problem. But I guess the best thing to do in that situation is if you have stuff set up where you can eat. Yeah. You know, it's really weird. We are like in Zen, you have the yin and the yang because you had a great week. I had a horrible week.
Oh, no.
Okay. So Friday night, I didn't eat all day. I ate when my window opened up and I did not get the other meal in. And it was like midnight because I had recorded or I forget what was going on. I think it was after we did the Brand X 100th episode. And I was like excited and hungry and all. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to go get something to eat. Oh, of course, my favorite place, the Taco Bell. Oh. I go there. All right. So I said, all right, well, listen, okay, you can go here because this is me. This is my good side saying, you know what? It's okay. So I go there. I'm like, just get the taco salad. Don't eat the shell. Don't get the beef. Get the chicken. Okay. So I do that. I eat everything out of the shell. I throw the shell away. I come home. On my way home, my stomach starts growling. like, oh, that's not good. So then I get to the house and now I feel nauseous. And I mean nauseous. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I think I'm going to get sick. And I don't like that. So I try to suppress it because I hate that. So Sam from I Shake My Head with Lisa and Sam, she's like, how you doing? I said, I don't feel good. So she's like, what's going on? I said, well, I went to Taco Bell, and don't yell at me for that going to Taco Bell, but I don't feel good. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I said, I feel like nauseous. She goes, well, why don't you just get sick? I'm like, well, I don't want to get sick. She's like, well, you'll feel better. So I'm like, well, all right. I don't know. I sounded good at the time. Well, goodness gracious, for the next 45 minutes, it was horrible. And it was, I think it was chicken. You know how when you have food poisoning, you know what it is because you don't want it anymore?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so the bad part was I got food poisoning from Taco Bell. The good part about that was I don't want to go back to Taco Bell anymore. It basically, because I have a theory that whatever they have in there, they sprinkle crack on it. Because to me, it's my favorite place to go. It's my go-to all the time. So I was horribly sick the next day. I was working and editing. I just felt drained. I drank 2 things of Gatorade trying to get my electrolytes back.
Yeah.
And then I was like swollen. I felt terrible. So I go to the doctors because everybody says, you better go to the doctor. So I go to the doctors and the doctor's like, wow, you're really swollen. So they put me on steroids. And I'm like, well, I don't understand this because now I'm really swollen.
Yeah.
So So part of this thing is like, how much we're doing a podcast here. How much do you share? And what do you share? You know, if you want to be truthful about this. Here's my thing, dear listener. If you're in your early 40s and you're thinking that, you know what, you got time to do this, I say do it now. Because when you're hitting 57, like real quick, it's not easy. Things that I used to be able to do and it wasn't an issue is now becoming an issue for me. And what I'm saying is don't let yourself get to that situation. So one of the things they said, my doctor said was, because I went to the doctor is also a nutritionalist. So I told him about the intermittent fasting and he gave me the side eye. So then I go into my defense, which is, well, doc, let's just say this. What if by something happened and we lost the ability to make bread and muffins and all that kind of stuff, and I just had to eat vegetables and meat and that, would I die? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, okay. There was the weirdest thing. He felt around my liver and he's like, what do you think about doing a liquid diet? He says, yeah, I want to see if we can shrink your liver. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's when a doctor tells you got a big liver.
How do you take that?
Yeah. Your liver's so fat and bloated that it's your liver. I mean,
I didn't even take it as a fat liver. I just thought it was like larger than normal. Like maybe, it's the size of a dinosaur's liver. Or something.
And then he says, oh, how much water are you drinking? And I said, well, I drink when I'm thirsty. And he's like, I want to see you get more water in because what's happening is sometimes your body will retain water if you don't bring it. So I'm like, okay, all right, let's try that. Yeah. So I ordered some protein drinks from Premier Protein Clear Drinks. Put that link in here for that.
Yeah, we'll have the link in the show notes.
No carbs, and we're going to give it a whirl. So we'll see what happens. Now, is it because of the dieting? I don't think so. He didn't think so, but he's like, we just want to monitor this. So, yeah, wasn't really a good week. It was crazy.
Well, I feel so bad that you would stomach problems because that's the worst when you're dieting, especially because you just want to throw everything out the window at that point.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I went back to carbs on whatever day it was, that Friday. Saturday, I had to have something. My stomach, I was like, you know what? I'm eating a bagel because, and I know I don't say bagel right because I'm from South Jersey.
I love the way you say bagel, actually. It's like my favorite way to say it. My husband and I say it like that, like as a joke, but I love that way.
So I had 2 on Saturday, kind of soaked up all the horribleness. And that pretty much put me back. I didn't feel right until Monday. I don't feel bad. Yeah. But doing the walking, I haven't been able to I'm like somewhere around 800, 900. So I haven't been hitting 1,000, but I've been walking.
Yeah, that's still better than...
It's better than 200.
Yeah.
And the other thing here is it's like a sauna outside.
Yeah.
So as soon as you walk outside, it's like your body starts sweating. So, and I've been walking more inside here. I've been setting an alarm to get up because we have sedentary jobs and you could sit somewhere for 8 to 10 hours and not even move. Yeah. So just getting up and moving more. But that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to come on here and whine. But on the other hand, I just want people to know that the more you wait, the harder it gets. And then things start to happen to you. So if you get a chance to do this now, they know more about nutrition, more about health, more about how to shed weight now than they ever have. And if you're heavy and you still have good knees and stuff like that, and you can exercise more, I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's not easy, but it's easier then than it is now. You're in your early 40s and you're thinking about trying to get this done or, oh, I don't know, I can't do this. Do it. Because 42 to me was like yesterday. I went from 42 to 56 in like a month.
Yeah. I remember having my daughter. I had her 7 years ago. Just had my son a year and a half ago. The amount of work it takes to lose weight now compared with then, completely different. That's 7 years difference. Back then, I could just go on a diet for a month, exercise whenever I could. I mean, it's tough with kids. It's really tough to get up and move with kids. But it's actually not when you think about it because they just want to run around. Like you want to run around with them, but you're also so worried about getting tired that you're going to fall asleep at 6 o'clock. So it's weird. There's like this weird balancing act. And then there's also that voice in your head of, well, I'll exercise when they're older. I'll exercise when they can be more independent. And it's like, no, you got to do it then. I did this thing with my daughter. I had a blog for all of 5 seconds and I tried to make it really cool, like those mommy blogs I would see. And I came up with an exercise routine and it actually worked out really well. And I think I called it something like Parkercise, where I take the kid to the park and I let her run on the jungle gym. Meanwhile, I'm doing like push-ups on the jungle gym bars and I'm doing stretches and I'm stretching my calves and, you know, all the other moms are looking at me weird. But the thing was I lost a lot of weight doing that and I found a way to work it into what I was doing and what my kid was doing. So it was really cool.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast today. Not today. Excuse me. I was listening to a podcast earlier in this week. And there was a guy who came on and he wrote a book. I don't remember the book. I will go back and research it now that I'm talking about it. But he had a really cool thing. He used to be miserable because he's like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this. And he just flipped it. And he said, I don't gotta, I get to. In other words, I get to exercise. And that's a great thing because here's somebody over here that they are so sick right now, they can't exercise. Or I got to go pick up my kid. No, that's not, I get to pick up my kid. There are people out there that have lost a child or something and they don't get to pick up their children or they don't get to play with their children anymore. So instead of just saying, I got to, or I have to flip that script and say, I get to. And I started working with that this week, you know, after I was, after the food poisoning and the doctor and the, you know, my fat bloated liver. I think that's a band name. I want to start a band, Punk My Fat Bloated Liver. And so I'm like, okay, well, now I get to do this. I get to try to change this. I get to see if I can turn this around. I get to do all that. And it makes a big difference. So I get to.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that way of thinking about it. I've done it lately where both my parents are having a lot of health problems. My mom's has a lot to do with her weight. My dad is just not, he didn't take care of himself. He acted like he was in his 20s far longer than he should have. And so they're both going through a lot of health problems and I'm watching them now and just seeing they're not even up there in age. I look at both of them compared to
Am I allowed to ask
parents.
how old they are? Are they in their 60s?
My dad is 30 years older than I am, so he's 65. My mom is 63, I think.
They're not even that much older than me.
No, and they're
right.
And I compare them to Mark's parents, who are roughly about the same age. Mark's parents are out. They're taking vacations. They're running around with the kids.
Yes.
My parents are in and out of the hospital all the time because they just didn't take care of themselves at all.
Yeah. And just, the same thing with Podcast Movement. We talked about that last show. It's like, everybody's out running around doing things and I can't, So I would love to be able to get to do that at the next conference I go to. Craig in the chat says Fat Bloated Liver is a British band from Liverpool. So
absolutely,
I must have missed it. See, I missed my chance. Darn it. That was my week. So I'm glad you had a great week because I don't think I feel like I'm so negative now, but I mean, this is when we decided to do this show, we were just going to be honest about how things are going and what are we doing and how are we going to change this and just to keep each other accountable. So like with you, instead of being upset, like, someone just posted again, now I got to go downstairs and get on that rower. You didn't do that. You're like, okay, I'm going to count these up and I get to go down there and row some. And I'm excited.
It was really cool because I liked reading what people had to post and I like that they're interactive. The other thing is I'll go and row. I'll leave a comment and I'll like, except for this weird 24-hour period where I'm not allowed to like anything on Facebook because I liked something too much. But I'll go and like it or put a heart on it and then leave a comment, go row. I'll come back and I get these notifications of Craig responded, Jessica responded, Adam responded, Michelle responded. And it's so awesome to see that support from everyone.
Yes. I wouldn't feel bad going into the group and asking for support. Matter of fact, on Saturday, I almost jumped into a live and said, you know what? This is what happens. I went to Taco Bell and I got food poisoning. Serves me right. And now I'm suffering. But, it was just one of those things. It was funny. I was going to do it for the comedic value because I was a hot mess on Saturday. I was horrible. I felt horrible on Saturday. Actually,
it must have been a Saturday thing because now that I'm remembering back to Saturday, I wanted garlic bread. It was something like 10 o'clock at night and I was stressed and I love garlic bread so much. So I told my husband, can you please go to Little Caesars and go get their cheap garlic bread?
Okay.
And it was 10 o'clock, way outside of my window. And he looks at me and he's like, which is the better question to ask? Should I ask, are you pregnant? Or should I ask if you're willing to break your diet? So he asked if I was pregnant and I said, no, I just want garlic. Like, go out and get it for me. I will work it off later.
Yeah.
He went. They were out. They were out of garlic bread.
See?
And he sends me a text and he's like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go to the store? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he took too long at the store because he was getting other stuff that I downed a bottle of water. And then he came home and he was like, all right, set the oven for 400 degrees. And I was like, I'm good. I just had to wait it out. I just had to not be able to have it.
I was able to wait it out. Send you on a wild goose chase for a while.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, again, cravings, if you can withstand the cravings. I was going to try to move my window in closer to 4 hours from 6, but I figured with everything right now, just kind of hold where I'm at right now. Let's try this liquid. I have a lot of chicken broth, a lot of vegetable broth.
Yeah.
Low sodium, chicken broth, low sodium, vegetable broth right now. And I'm just going to try to do, I guess, kind of like a cleanse and reset. He said to me that, you think you could do the 2-week thing? Like if you were going to could you do this for 2 weeks? And I said, I can try. We can do it one day at a time and see if how I feel. It's just going to work and that's what I love about Amazon. I went there Wednesday to the doctor's and then tomorrow I will have the protein drinks and everything. So that's kind of cool because I checked, there weren't in any supermarkets around here, so I could order through Amazon.
Do you have BJ's or Costco?
They're here. I don't, as being a single guy, I don't need a 55-gallon drum of hair gel.
Yeah, because I know I think they have Premier.
Yeah, so, and then if I didn't have to buy the membership, I might go in there. But for me, being a single guy, I just don't need that big double thing of body wash and stuff like that.
We use Mark's parents' account to go to Costco.
I wonder, yeah. I might have to see if somebody has a Costco account I might be able to glom off of and head on over. Take them with, or just give them money and say, here, go get this. Here's a picture.
I'm pretty sure it's Premier that they have. How are you with a liquid diet? I've never been good at smoothies. I don't know. I don't think I like smoothies. Also, it doesn't, I think we've talked about this before. You don't get the chewing.
Yeah, the chewing thing is really important for me. I don't know how we're going to,
Yeah.
that's why I said it's going to have to be a day by, in other words, he says to me, all right, so basically, can you do 2 weeks? And I was like, no, I ain't doing, in my mind, I said that, right? I didn't say it out loud, but then I'm thinking to myself, well, let's not say no. Let's say, how am I going to break this down and do it a day at a time? And then who knows?
You have to say, I get to do a liquid diet for 2 weeks.
You mean I get to do a liquid diet for 2 That's so much better. Yes. Yes, I want to wake up and then drink this protein raspberry thing and have a cup of tea with no anything in it. Yes, I get to do that. Boy, all this time, eating eggs and bacon and sausage. Now I get to do this. Right.
I get to take a break from bacon.
Right. I get to take a break from solid food. So we'll see what happens. I got to start following somebody else's advice. This, what I'm doing, is not working. So let's let some other people take the wheel. Let's drive this bus a little bit and see how it works out. So when I went to the doctor, he's like, have you ever thought about gastric bypass? I just looked at him. I said, every day. He goes, well, why don't you? I said, well, just don't want somebody going in, cutting out my, making my stomach into a banana. And then what happens if I decide to have a binge like I do at time to time and blow something out, because I can't say I won't do that. And he's like,
it's funny that was such a quick go-to for the doctor to suggest.
Right.
For me.
Well,
I don't
look at
know.
the
I feel
size
like
of
the
me.
doctor should try a few more things before liquid diet or gastric bypass.
well, yeah. So, I would say because of the size of me. That's part of it. So, and then, the other thing is like, they were like, well, if you're going to do this, you got to lose 50 pounds anyhow. Well, if I lose 50 pounds, I'm well on my way. And listen, I'm not poo-pooing it. If you want to do that, well, we have someone in our group who's doing it, and I applaud and rooting for that, rooting for her. I want to see that. I know other people that have had it, and it worked, and then I know people that have had it. It worked for a while, and then they ate through it, and that is my biggest fear, because if I ever got it and then lost weight and then ate through it and gained weight, and then when I'd go to the doctor and he would look at me and he would say, "Did you ever think about bariatric surgery?" Have it. I mean, I saw someone lose like 120 pounds and then gain it all back and some within 10 years.
Yeah.
And I would want to take my head and run it into a concrete wall. After that, it is my biggest fear.
Is it because of the weight, or is it because of the money and everything
No,
involved?
it's because of the eating disorder, the food addiction, the binge eating that I quietly don't tell anybody about. The Taco Bell thing was basically a way of binge eating without binge eating. It was a way to go do something that I could have probably done 100 different things. I could have ate something here. I have plenty of food here to make, but I just wanted that, whatever they sprinkle on that Taco Bell, whatever that special powder that they put on there that makes it so irresistible. I had to have some of that, and then I had to pay for it the next day.
Maybe you should find that powder and put it on broccoli, or put it in your broth.
Well, please, Taco Bell, tell me what you sprinkle, and I would put it on broccoli. I'd put it on everything.
If there's a Taco Bell broth out there, like squeeze a taco, get all that juice out. Is that liquid enough? Can you drink that liquid?
I'm sure you could take broccoli. Well, they take broccoli and spinach and put like some ice in something. They just whip it into some green. Here's the other thing. I don't like green drinks.
I don't either. I can't get past the green of it.
I don't care if it tastes like a raspberry sundae. If it's green, it's supposed to taste like shit.
I don't even like mint chocolate chip ice cream or like a mint shake. Right. I can't. I don't like it.
I don't like mint cold stuff. Like if I want a mint, I want a mint like a mint. I don't want mint anything in my anything. No mint in my tea. No mint in my ice cream. I'm not a fan. But Jessica in the chat says that you don't gain it all back. But the person I saw did. Some people don't. Some people do. I'm an overachiever in that situation. I might. I don't know. I'm being tongue-in-cheek here. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to scare anybody off either that's going to do this. I'm just talking about my whatever that is. So, anyhow, that was my week.
Well, so what are you doing this week? You're doing the liquid diet.
I'm doing a liquid diet. I'm going to try to get, I'm still working to get to 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
And still trying to get to that plateau. And then we're going to, like I said, just see where we are. It's kind of a slow process. I didn't think that when we started this show, I didn't think it was going to be, every week we're going to go, look how much weight we're down. I knew that this was going to happen because it happens to me every time.
Yeah.
But I figured that I got to keep coming back, and not even I can fail or not try after a certain amount of time if I have to come back here and do a podcast. That's all.
Yeah. There's something about the podcast. It keeps me mindful of what I'm doing, of what I'm eating. And it's almost like the guilt is easier to deal with when I go off plan because I'm like, it's okay. I have another few days until I talk to John. Right. But at the same time, it does keep me more accountable. And especially, again, like I've said so many times, because this group is amazing, but the group itself, people posting in the group, having that challenge of getting on the rowing machine every time somebody posted. I mean, that made my week. It made me happier, put me in a better mood. I slept better because, I was getting maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day on the rowing machine, which isn't a lot, but at the same time, it is a lot. It's more than I was doing. Absolutely.
Michelle is in the group. She says she's doing liquid diet right now. So she has 2 weeks of it. So I'm going to go for the 2 weeks. All right, Michelle, you're on. I'll lean on you for support. See what happens. All right. Yeah. So now we know how you did, and now we know how I did.
You want to talk about some Winning Wednesday
let's
first?
Let's talk about some Winning Wednesdays.
Yeah.
We need some Winning Wednesday music.
We do.
We have a singer in here. I noticed we have a singer in the group that might ask her to give us a Winning Wednesday song. Well, you sing too.
Yeah.
So you sing, Jessica sings. We need like a Winning Wednesday or something like that.
We already have Transpiration, so I have to figure out Winning Wednesday. So let's talk about Winning Wednesday. We have Craig, who's down 1.2 kilos, and he gave us the conversion. Thank you, Craig, of 2.6 pounds.
Okay, that's good.
His first week. That's awesome. That's great.
And Craig is not I met Craig. He's not he's not big, so that's a big loss. In percentage of body weight, that's a pretty good size loss. That's great.
Yeah. Michelle has lost 3 more pounds for a total of 44 pounds.
That's
and
amazing.
3 clothing sizes.
That is great. Amazing.
Oh my gosh. 3 clothing sizes. There's something about women's clothing sizes, and we've talked about this on the show before, where you have to lose a significant amount of weight to go down a size. And it's ridiculous. It's like, I've lost 100 pounds. I've gone down 1 size. I don't know. I think that's my body. That's how my body works. It's like, meh.
Well, Michelle, since she's in the chat, what do you do now? Do you have clothes, or do you have to run to the store now to buy like something different? I mean, do you have clothes that you kind of went up and now that you still have those clothes as you're going down to wear?
It is summer, so it's nice that dresses, if you're just wearing a very loose dress, you can kind of throw it on.
Right.
Because I have dresses like that where I can fluctuate 20, 30 pounds and still fit into. I actually have a wedding next month, and I can almost get into my pre-pregnancy dress that I wore to weddings. So
very cool. Michelle says she goes to thrift shops.
Smart.
There you go. Very, very smart. What's that song? I'm popping tags.
I don't know. You probably know more about the songs that kids listen to than I do. I was listening to Dad Rock when we got on.
Craig, I don't think whiskey liquid diet is what they're talking about. Oh, yeah. Well, I lost a little weight, too, after the Taco Bell debacle. I'll be quite honest with you.
Taco Debac-o.
Yeah, Taco Debac-o. Yeah.
Yeah. We have one more Winning Wednesday post. It was from Todd, who lost 3.2 pounds this week for a total of 43. And he officially needs to get a new belt. He hasn't bought any new clothes yet. He's trying to wait.
Yeah, but I mean, how long can you wait for that?
I know. If you already need a new belt. Yeah.
That's great.
We had a lot of other posts throughout the week of other people's wins. We had somebody posted their keto feast, which looked amazing.
Yeah, that is cool. The other thing is, too, maybe we should try to get like the keto people together in the group just so we can kind of bounce things off. I see these amazing recipes that they make, stuff that is really, really cool. But I don't cook. But it looks really great. Like, I wish I could I wish they would open up a keto restaurant around here or something like that.
Well, there have been some keto meal deliveries. Somebody was asking about that in the group, if anybody does any of that. And what's funny is it started popping up in my Facebook ads of just like, oh, you are reading a lot of things about keto. Do you want a keto meal delivery system? And I'm like,
I might. Let me see what that is.
I'm like, no, I'm not allowed to dabble. So,
well, yeah, you can, but
no,
us,
I can't.
The people that are not the cat. Do we have to give the cat a co-host now? Does it get a co-host credit?
No, because I'm really worried she's stepping on the desk, that she's going to push a key and I'm going to lose you and I'm going to lose Facebook.
It's amazing. I'm just sitting there, all of a sudden you see a tail go one way, then a tail come back, then you hear the tail hit the microphone. That's crazy. Yeah. All right. And who else? What else was going on?
We had Jennifer also in the group. She posted about her walks and her pool. She put a picture of her pool there, and I'm like, it is hot. I feel like everybody I've talked to is in the middle of a heat wave right now, yes. And the pool looked so nice.
Well, and here's the other thing. My ex still has my old pool, and I'm allowed to go over there anytime I want and use it. And I haven't used it yet, so I should go over there and use the pool.
And you belong to a gym for swimming.
I know. Well, I got to be honest with you. We did my other podcast, the Brand X podcast, and somehow they got on public pools and public hot tubs.
I heard about that.
I was like, I hate both of these now because I don't want to go in the water. It's horrible.
I like living under a delusion that those chemicals kill everything, and I'm fine with that.
Yes, and the way they talked about it, I was like, I can't even. I went in the other day. And I went into...
Thought about it.
I thought about it, and I was like, I can't even go in there. I hate both of them guys, right? I hate both of them. So, yeah, but the other pool was here, so we'll try it out. See what happens.
All right, are we ready?
Oh, here we go.
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for... The Weigh-In.
So this is episode 16. That means I get to go first. I'm down a pound.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'll actually, to be honest with you, we forgot to for our Winning Wednesday, so I forgot about that. My apologies. I feel pretty good that I'm actually down a pound because, and here's the other thing. I think everything that I have in here is just retaining fluid. So I think that there's a big whoosh in my future, especially if this medication they gave me works. We'll see what happens. Medical setback is what I'm calling this. Medical setback because, to be honest with you, I think I lost 2 pounds on Saturday after the Friday.
Yeah, I'm sure you
taco
did.
Debac-o.
Yeah, but still, down 1 pound. That's awesome.
Yeah, not bad.
Great.
I'll take it. I was nervous. All right. So now all this rowing, because I've been waiting for this.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so last week... From Podcast Movement, I got back and I was up 5 pounds. This week I weighed just before I came on because I'm wearing shorts, so I'm not going to get up and show everyone my crazy non-tan legs and walk over to the scale. So I got on before I came on. I'm down 6 pounds.
There you go.
I know.
Got all that back. And plus one.
I got back to the lowest I was on the show, back to episode 12 and 13 weight. So I was so happy to see that number.
That's fantastic. You know what? I like the idea of not weighing because I got up on the scale. I didn't weigh from the last. Well, I'm sorry. I did on Sunday because I wanted to see if food poisoning was a good diet
food
tactic.
Poisoning was a good choice of a diet.
Yes, I wanted to see, and so I was at that point. I was down 2, but I think drinking the Gatorade and eating some of this. I think I put a pound of that back on. But I don't know. Here's the funny thing. I don't feel heavier, if that makes any sense. I feel lighter.
Yeah.
So, and my other issue is that the only heaviness I feel is in, my legs where I'm having swelling problems and stuff like that. But besides that, I feel pretty good. I'm sleeping better. I don't feel depressed. I feel happier. And I like that. So it's not all about the scale. It's about the non-scale victories of feeling better. And I think if you continue to feel better, this will start to work out. But we're episode 16. And, like I said, whenever you do something like this, it takes a little while to kind of zero in. And then to find out that there are issues that I was having that I didn't have before. And I wasn't expecting that. So we'll see where it goes from there. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Another thing was I was looking through my phone. I was looking at old pictures. And when I was doing a lot of walking around the mall in the mornings in the beginning of the year when Cam would sleep in the mornings and he took 2 naps, I would take pictures of myself in front of this elevator that had mirrors. And I would take those every so often. And in that folder of pictures, I also had a picture of me stepping on the scale once I left my job, because I knew as soon as I was gone from that job, a lot of the stress would go away and the stress eating. I was like, all right, this is going to be the heaviest I am. It was like the middle of January. This is going to be the heaviest I am all year. And that was 26 pounds ago.
Wow.
So seeing that number on the scale from January to now, it was just...
That's really great.
I cannot believe that I cannot believe I got mad at being the weight I was last week with an extra 5 pounds when that was, 20 pounds lighter than I was in the beginning of the year. And I was just, oh my gosh, I just can't wait to be this weight. If I'm this weight, then it'll be so much easier to lose the rest of the weight. It's crazy.
It's not. It's, you gotta be happy.
Yeah.
You get to do all this.
We get to do this. Yeah.
Now I got to go back and find that podcast and find that book and find that guy so we can put the link in the notes. All right. Are we ready to head on out of here?
We are ready. Thank you for the chat room, everybody who came in. If anybody wants to join the chat room, come join us at hate2wait.com/Facebook. And John, you can do the official outro. Here you go.
Thank you so much for listening to Hate to Wait. For more information, you can visit hate2wait.com for show notes and links to anything we've talked about in this episode, because Emily is amazing. And if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. Come be a part of the Hate to Wait discussion group on Facebook by going to hate2wait.com/Facebook. All right, Emily, we made it one more week, and we'll be back next week. Can't wait, because we get to.
Because we get to come back next week.